What's up, witches? Welcome back to my channel. It's the Lunar Priest, and today we're going to be talking about the 12th house. But before we do, make sure that you're subscribed, make sure that you're liking the video, okay? Okay, so let's get started. Also, before we do, I wrote a blog all about the 12th house. It's super extensive and super awesome, and it's up on thelunarpriest.com. The link will be down in the description. Also, if you don't already follow me on Instagram, I offer tons of cool educational, quick content on there too, and that's just at the Lunar Priest. So hopping into the 12th house is associated to Pisces and therefore Neptune. Pisces gives it a very dreamy-like state. The 12th house is associated with all things subconscious, the way that we sleep, that is, you know, inside and concealed. And by that same token, when it's all that concealed stuff, it can also be associated to any sort of secrecy, any sort of illegal work, any sort of investigation, any sort of manipulation to keep things concealed or to find things out. There's a lot of secrecy going on, and that secret internal world on one hand can be very beautiful. It can represent the spirituality, the investigation of consciousness, the interpretation of where it all came from and what it all is in the first place. So a lot of like priests or theologists or investigators or private investigators even will have a lot of 12th house placements in their charts. But again, it can be a very implosive and sometimes dangerous or explosive house as well. Similar to the 8th house, the 12th house wants to, or is likely to, go beyond the realms of what's normal or what's mundane, except for where the 8th house kind of constitutes what is taboo and beyond life. The 12th house wants to more explore the scope outside of life in general. It wants to more so explore consciousness rather than the like sex, death, eroticism. The 12th house is more into like mental illness and addiction and, you know, what drives us to do certain things, or abnormal psych or something like that. The 12th house is much more about what lies within the depths of self rather than what happens to the self when it goes outside of societal norms, if you will. Now, it is the opposite of the 6th house, and the 6th house is ruled by Virgo, which is a very pure and material, like understood. It's very here and now. It's very grounded. It has hard evidence for what it's doing. It's logical, it's organized, it wants to do things right. The 12th house is the opposite of that, meaning it is all the continents uncontained, right? It rules over wild animals and impulsiveness even. So I think that that is why it's kind of linked to addiction and unusual mental pattern. And another thing is that since it is kind of showing us the dance of consciousness, or how one might relate to the dance of consciousness, it can also be kind of a good place to look in terms of what kind of karma this person might have in the natal chart. So if we're looking at a 12th house and it has certain interesting 12th house placements going on, that can kind of show you, if you subscribe to the idea of reincarnation, where they came from and where they're headed, or what they're kind of working through in this lifetime. I also think this kind of shows up in the fact that the 12th house can sometimes be a place that symbolizes our experience in the womb space or pregnancy in general. Sometimes people say if you have a very malefic 12th house placement, that can sometimes be related to pregnancy complications or different things that might happen to you or to your child in the womb space. And I think that that speaks for the 12th house's correlation to otherworldliness and things that go on outside of normal everyday consciousness. We totally have a different thing going on when we're inside of the womb, right? It's very subconscious, very sleepy-like, and very altered, if you will. In conclusion, the 12th house being ruled by Pisces and Neptune gives it a very otherworldliness. It's a place where we can locate our deepest psychological fears and desires. It's a place that dreams come from and go to, I guess. Looking out for benefic and malefic placements can be extra important in the 12th house. as it is sometimes known as the most dangerous house, and I think it's no coincidence that it is that, and it is also directly related to the psyche. So there's really nothing to worry about so long as you're aware of what is going on with you psychologically, and you're working towards your highest and best evolution, and you're getting the necessary help that you need, and that you have the capacity to witness yourself and understand your behaviors and do what you can to find any necessary help that you need. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think that this style of video tends to be pretty organized, but this one went a little out there, and I think that that's just the nature of talking about the 12th house. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram, and if you liked my video, make sure to comment down below. I'll see you next time. Bye!